You need to watch this. This is Sergeant Brian McGinnis being pulled out of the Senate hearing for his opinion.
The US-Iran war is widening fast. What started as a conflict between 3 countries has now dragged a staggering 13 into the fallout.
This war is a distraction from something much bigger. Just listen.
Wait, it's not about their nukes?
Barron Trump just made over $10 million in insider trading oil and about 7.
Hey there, welcome back to Chill Spot. You ever feel that urge to look away when things get a little too creepy? Well, tonight you'll need all your courage. We've dug up footage so strange and mysterious, you'll be thinking about it long after the video ends. Can you handle every second? Tap subscribe, like the video while you are at it, and let's see how brave you really are.
Something truly horrific just went down at the US Capitol building.
No one wants to fight for Israel!
His hand!
Yeah, it's a very hard watch. But the reason why this happened is pretty significant. So during an Armed Services Subcommittee hearing, a Marine veteran and Senate candidate, Brian McGinnis, was forcibly removed and they ended up breaking his hand. Now this happened after he stood up in the middle of the hearing and disrupted it by yelling this.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go.
Now that is when 2 officers grabbed him and attempted to drag McGinnis out of the room, which they explained later by saying that protests are not allowed inside the congressional buildings. But McGinnis did not go quietly. He resisted and he kept yelling. In fact, one of those men is actually one of the senators, Tim Sheehy, who joined the security. This is all while most senators in attendance refused to turn around.
Look at you guys, you're robots! You won't even look back! Oh my god, what is happening?
McGinnis now faced charges of assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, and more. But this comes as a debate in Washington is growing over how much influence Israel had in the US entering this war with Iran, especially since Marco Rubio said this a couple of days ago.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us.
But, as always, what do you guys think?
Welcome back, channel members. Thank you for your incredible support. All right, let's get into today's video.
You need to watch this. This is Sergeant Brian McGinnis being pulled out of the Senate hearing for his opinion. An actual Marine that fought for this country. Watch this.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your effectiveness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
This right here is what our government has come to. A whole bunch of suits voting against the interests of our sons and daughters 24/7 every single time, and the people that actually fought for this country being torn out of Senate hearings for voicing his opinion. I bet you the media won't push this story. They silence anyone else besides narratives that fit in with their own. Once it's viral, they'll have to. Like people have been saying, this is not a problem that you can vote your way out of. There's no telling how many Americans are going to lose their life over this war. What do y'all think about what he said? Let me know below.
His hand!
No one wants to fight for Israel!
His hand! His hand! Oh! His hand!
The guy that broke his arm in that video was Marine Corps veteran Brian McGinnis, who was protesting the Supreme Court sending Marines to go fight the war for Israel in the Middle East. And, I mean, everyone on the internet is on this guy's side. Everyone's sick of the boomers starting all these wars, trying to send these kids out to just die for them so they can get a little bit of a profit margin on their oil. We don't need to be doing that anymore in 2026. We're not going to have some draft. There's all these old guys coming up to younger guys like me at the gym saying, oh, you're going to get drafted into the war. It's World War III starting up. You better make sure you're nice and healthy so you can go fight for America. None of us want to be doing that because it's pointless. And we're all awakened now, so we know what the government just wants us for. We're like cattle to them. We've learned that in the Epstein files. That's what they call us, the elites. They call us cattle. And they like to use us and just push us off into wars so that we die for their benefit. And we've had enough.
The reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel.
Your inability to name that shows your acceptance as leaders. This is wrong. No. And nobody wants to fight for Israel. Reminder to all our Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
That's so brutal how they handled that situation, and I think they could have handled it in a more civilized way. From what we have seen, there is some truth they don't want us to know, and that guy was trying to tell us before they took him out.
The US-Iran war is widening fast. What started as a conflict between 3 countries has now dragged a staggering 13 into the fallout, and today marked a major escalation because Iran struck UK military bases in Cyprus, meaning for the first time this war has now officially touched European territory. Now, in response, the UK has authorized the United States to use its military bases to help destroy Iran's missile systems, and a member of the European Parliament for Cyprus is already calling for action.
Cyprus is an EU territory, and one attack on a member state should be considered as an attack to the entire European Union. We want and we expect a united response from the entire European Union.
And that wasn't the only development today. Lebanon has now been dragged into this conflict as well after Hezbollah launched strikes on Israel in solidarity with Iran. Meanwhile, Qatar and Saudi Arabia were pulled in a pretty major way after a number of their energy facilities were hit. Qatar, which supplies around 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas, they were forced to suspend their operations. And the same goes for Saudi. Their largest oil refinery had to temporarily halt production after a large fire broke out. And then there's NATO. We got their comments for the first time after their Secretary General called Iran a threat to Europe, Israel, and the wider region, saying Europe is really stepping up after this weekend's operations. But when asked if NATO forces would get involved in this situation, he made it pretty clear. He said this is being led by the United States and Israel. So for now, NATO is staying out of it. But of course, as the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
This war is a distraction from something much bigger. Just listen.
Wait, it's not about their nukes?
No. Iran's central bank counts because their oil and energy is very important, including for China. Larry Fink and BlackRock have said,
we need to move very rapidly. All investments on a tokenized platform.
What it means is this is going to be...
We have one common blockchain.
You know, potentially $100, $200, $300 trillion market.
Everything that was just said in that video confirms that this viral 4chan user was right. This anonymous user predicted everything that would happen with the war, including the day that it would start. And this same user said that the main objective of this war is to obtain natural resources for BlackRock to tokenize. And he even mentions that the token at the center of all of this is the Western Asset Reserve with the ticker WAR. But there's a way that we can all benefit and become millionaires because of this war. On March 11th, Larry Fink is hosting a huge BlackRock event in Washington, D.C. But everything about this event points towards it being the official token announcement date. So I went and searched the token, and it's currently sitting at around 2 cents. But let's not forget the last time that Trump was connected to a token, it made over 525 millionaires overnight. So obviously if a big announcement is made on the 11th, it could skyrocket straight up to the moon. So with everything happening in the world right now, I decided to throw a bag into this coin. And if you want to do the same, you can get the FOMO app on my bio, and you could search war and get it super easily, and there's even less fees. Or just comment CA and I'll send you the CA.
So while we were all distracted with the Epstein files, the entire financial system just flipped. Like now. That's because the DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, just made the biggest move of the 21st century.
At a pace to tokenize real-world assets. And if you think about assets as software, it's natural for the industry to begin to look at blockchain as the next generation of software to carry assets, and they could.
The president and CEO of the DTCC, Frank LaSala, has just announced the green light from the SEC to tokenize everything. And if you guys have no idea who the DTCC is, let me walk this down. So they are the back office for the stock exchange, and let me give you an idea of how major this is. So their settlement and transaction volumes is $3.7 quadrillion per year. And yes, that's 15 zeros. Now, what does this all mean for the future of finance? And more importantly, what does this mean for you? This means real world assets like gold, silver, real estate, cars will all be represented on blockchain through tokenization. Now, what tokenization is fractionalized ownership and investments. So for example, say you wanted to sell 20% of your house instead of 100% of your house, you can do so through blockchain, purchasing it with crypto. Now here's another telltale sign that things are changing rapidly, because silver has just become the third largest asset on earth, coming in at over $4.4 trillion evaluation. Now silver has hit an all-time high over 5 times just this month alone, but that's not all. Gold, oil, copper, platinum, and palladium have all surged as well. Now, what was that little thing that where assets are represented on blockchain? Oh yeah, tokenization. And let's not forget, the US has just launched an airstrike on Nigeria and all these other countries, bringing us on the brink of war. And what's that little asset that they actually use during war? Silver. Silver is what they use for satellites and tanks, submarines, fighter jets, Tomahawk cruiser missiles, AI data centers, and wiring, you name it. Make sure you guys get into my Telegram where I have more information on tokenization. Also, hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Barron Trump just made over $10 million in insider trading oil. In about 7 days, you can make these millions too. I need y'all to pay attention. Executive Order 14298 just got leaked by Barron Trump, and in this executive order, it says how gas is going to go from $8 to $10 a gallon. And the reason why we're about to make millions from this executive order is because they just launched a digital oil reserve token called Oil around the same time, and it's connected to USD1, which is Donald Trump's stablecoin. Did y'all know that Barron Trump purchased about $30 million worth of oil just 2 days before the war started? I bet y'all know about that. What really solidifies it is when in Section 5 they say you must own 1 billion of reserves in order to be eligible. Well, USD1 has 4.7 billion. They're well overqualified. This right here makes so much sense that Barron Trump just accidentally released his Dash Stealth launch. And y'all know the last time Trump touched crypto, over 500 millionaires were created overnight. Y'all got about 7 days left to check this out, man. The contract address will be pinned in the comments below. Comment juice and I DM me the link to the free Telegram group where I give real-time plays and calls, man. Let's catch this wave, man. Let's get it. Peace in.
Prayers to all that have been affected by this war, and hope everything will be well for y'all. But looking at the situation, things are getting worse by the day, and we have seen from those clips something be cooking behind all this war.
While many of us are currently distracted by all of the events going on around the world, and also the possibility of World War III, one of the scariest news stories to come out in a while has gotten very little attention. And the story that I'm referring to is the one where NASA claims to have found giant spider webs on Mars. You heard what I said. NASA claims to have found giant spider webs on Mars. Take a look at this. Here's the headline right here. The Mars rover captures the first close-up photos of giant spider webs on the red planet. And we're not talking about the kind of spider webs you may find in the corner of some room or in an attic or maybe even in a basement. We're talking about miles-long spider webs. And if you take a closer look at the article, it goes on to say, what this all means is the fact that the zigzagging rocks could provide clues about the red planet's watery past and whether it once harbored extraterrestrial life. And if you recall, Elon Musk claimed that he would like to go to Mars. Do you think it's time we go to Mars and find out what actually is going on the red planet? So once again, is this something that we should be concerned about? Or is this just another distraction from something else they're not telling us? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
I don't know what's worse. The shit that they revealed about the Epstein files, or the rabbit hole that I went down about live dolls. And let me start by saying this. This is another reason why I always say the dark web is not the place to be. So basically, people are getting auctioned on the dark web. And they're getting auctioned to be a live dog. You heard what I just said? A live dog. So people on the dark web will bid on you. And when they win the bid, you basically sign yourself away to be their live dog. So how they do this is, they will surgically remove all of your bones, all of your limbs. They will have your tongue cut out. They will remove your eyes. They will then set your body up to a feeding tube so that you can get food and nourishments so you can spend the rest of your life as a live dog. You heard what I just said? And the craziest part of that is this. If you wanted to die, if you wanted to get out of that contract, if you wanted to get your own life back, that is not possible. You can't even take your own life. You would have to be a live dog for the rest of your existence until you expire. Jump down a rabbit hole. Hit that search bar up there, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that are signing up for this on the dark web. I'm out.
We are barely 2 weeks into this Venezuela conflict and the conspiracies are already stacking up. And my personal favorite is the claim that this whole conflict is a smokescreen to acquire Venezuela's Stargate. But then it hit me, I've heard this one before, I've seen this one before. Back in 2003 when we invaded Iraq, conspiracy forums lit up with stories about Marines uncovering an ancient structure beneath the Ziggurat of Ur, a Stargate directly connected to the Anunnaki. Now there are many versions of this story. They can range from tombs of giants and crashed UFOs, and details can vary depending on the source. But there's one constant: a Babylonian Stargate with US forces moving in to lock it down. Some include Saddam Hussein trying to facilitate a return of the Anunnaki. Those are also my favorite because I like to imagine Saddam and the Anunnaki sharing a hookah, discussing geopolitics. Now people are saying that Venezuela follows a similar blueprint with a few upgrades. In this version, the Stargate isn't activated, but it has been found, and this narrative seems to mostly be about the US controlling it before Russia or China can.
Is this Fashion Week or Horror Week? Because something is going on at these fashion shows that have nothing to do with fashion. And people are saying that they're scared, bro. Back in the days, fashion shows were not like this. Nowadays, these fashion shows are starting to scare people. This is what people are saying. I wasn't scared. This is fashion. This is art. And to me, this means all I see is money. This is what this means to me. That's my opinion. That might not be true. People are saying she's the money cyclops. Shut up! Now, I don't know whether to think of this as fashion or should I be scared? Because I don't know why they're doing this, but they're doing a great job. If I walked into a fashion show and I seen this, I might just leave. But that's just me, guys. Most people would stay because they went to the fashion show. They paid for this. This is art. Who's this? Who is this dude right here? Because people are saying that he doesn't look like he's from here. Now this is art in its purest form. These people are top of the line designers. Now, I don't know what this has to do with fashion and dressing up, but they're doing a great job. I'm just playing about guys, entertainment purposes only. Come on, this is art, bro. You see the makeup artists. This is top dollar. This is top performance, guys. These are models from across the world. They're doing their thing. Yo, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
They really took that fashion show to a whole new level of creepy madness. Some of them look so real that you may not think it's makeup. I would say they are trying to show us we are living with creatures that look like that in some sort of way.
Be honest with me. How much would you pay to see Cardi B perform?
Ugh. Ugh, this nasty ass bitch, dude. Oh my god. You're already aging like milk and you're still doing shit like this, bro? Bro, she's actually fucking gross, dude. Ugh. Ratchet ass bitch, dude.
Do you ever see how Machine Gun Kelly enters his concerts?
You think he's trying to tell us something like he's the spawn of Satan? Because you know who the Statue of Liberty actually is, right? Like you've seen my videos on how obvious it is. And you know how Lucifer's the light bearer? And what does the Statue of Liberty hold? And how this 1848 statue of Lucifer has a 7-point crown. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's an apple there. Oh, and where is that? NYC, the Big Apple. Oh, and you see that chain, right? The chain on the Statue of Liberty is broken. I wonder what that could mean. Did you ever notice that face on that 1848 statue of Lucifer? Kind of looks like someone I know, but I just can't place it. Oh, and getting back to good old MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, who's spawning out of Lucifer's mouth and doing some interesting hand symbols. You know, of those that don't mean rock on. Now, you know those are devil horns, right? Kind of like all of those. And when I first saw this, the very first thing I said was, he's telling us he's a child of Lucifer. And I didn't know how right I was until my friend Holly pointed it out. Notice how tall that sun is? You know who else is really tall? Machine Gun Kelly. And boy, they even kind of smirk alike and look alike, and well, they seem to match really, really well. How interesting. And maybe you haven't seen my videos where I keep telling everyone that there's a bunch of shape-shifting fallen angels here in Earth, in the flesh, not the spirit. And they always tell us in TVs and the movies and the media and music. In music, you know who that guy is, right? Elohim is another way to say gods or sons of God or fallen angels. And boy, that sure looks like angel wings. Do you ever see what the original statue of Lucifer, I mean Liberty's face, looked like? And the funny thing about these statues is I keep finding that they make them oh so accurate, down to the blemishes of the likeness of who they are made after. Do you see that hole right there and that one? There's two little blemishes right there that kind of look exactly like those two that go from left down to right, left down to right, just like that good old original statue of Liberty's face. Of course, all this for entertainment purposes, you silly billies. I don't really think any of this is true. There are definitely no fallen angels that are here shape-shifting into several different forms, deceiving humanity into getting you to worship them as false idols instead of giving a little bit of recognition to the Most High Heavenly Father who created this entire realm just for you to live out your life and find your purpose and help humanity with whatever that purpose is. Nope, entertainment only. I'm a satire account.
Some of the things that music artists do on stage are straight up fucked up, and I don't think they be themselves when they perform. I mean, what Cardi B was doing there is insane to do in front of fans. Tell us what you think down below.
This is the clock for Avengers Doomsday, right? Right. And the clock is a countdown to when Doomsday releases, right? Not exactly, because what if I told you Doomsday has already happened in the MCU? Explain. So the Russos came out and said that the trailers we've gotten so far aren't trailers and they aren't teasers. They are stories and clues that we need to pay attention to, which made me realize one thing. What thing? Doomsday already happened, and what we're seeing are the events that have played out and will play out from Loki's point of view. Loki? Explain. Think about it. Loki currently sits at the center of the multiverse. He can see all time at once. Loki can see what is to come, what is happening now, and the future, just like He Who Remains. And so the countdown isn't so much counting down to Doomsday, because like the Russo said, Doomsday has begun. Doomsday is happening as we speak, and Doom has already won. So then what's the countdown? My theory is that it's counting down to a point of no return. Right now, currently, the timeline can be rewritten. pruned, the past can be changed. That is until the timer runs out. When Doomsday releases to the world, it's already too late. The events are set in stone. So what you're saying is that by the time Doomsday comes out, Doomsday already happened. We're watching the past that...
What I'm here to tell people is that when Project Bluebeam is used, again, it's not going to be by the United States. It's not going to be by national, it's going to be by global government. They're the ones who are going to use this stuff. And it's going to be, it's not just a bunch of pretty holograms. They're going to be using it for religious figures. They're going to have Jesus in the sky, but it's not just going to be holograms. There's going to be voice-to-skull technology. It's also going to be used. They're going to be able to have these figures speak to every human being on the planet. Imagine the impact of that they're going to be able to see the figure and also hear the figure talking to them. You know, it's amazing. I think that is the particular reason why Jesus said in the Bible, my sheep hear my voice and they will recognize my voice. And I think that was an anticipation of when this operation goes forward. And it's going to go forward in conjunction also with the great fake alien invasion. It's going to go forward with that. And who knows, it's going to be also a sweetener. It's going to be, instead of, we're going to have, maybe 10 or 20 UAPs that have incredible destructive capacity against our cities. But then with Project Bluebeam, they can make those appear like 200 or 300 or 400 UAPs. See, that's what they can do. And also these holograms, we call them holograms because that's the word that we know. But they're going to probably have the capacity for noise, for sound, for solidity, temporary solidity as well. But then you can say, well, but then that's not a hologram. Well, yeah, it's probably going to be something that is several steps above a hologram as well. So these are the things that we're facing. And these things are going to be faced all at once.
Wait,
this is his tattoo.
This can't be true.
Right here. So it says Deus Vult. So he's a Christian crusader. Here's the cross, and when he holds it up, it's an Antichrist symbol. It's upside down. And I pointed out the Antichrist symbol right here. Right here, it says Kafir. This is what the Antichrist will have written on his forehead. Three letters right here. The Antichrist is a one-eyed demon with Kafir on his forehead. This is our Secretary of War. This is Pete Hegseth with Benjamin Netanyahu, the war criminal, the one who's in charge of our country. Apparently, the leader of our country, if we are now going to war to protect his interests, not ours. This is what's in control of our country. Literal satanic demons. Look, it's right here. It's in front.
Times are getting tough and weird during this trying times, and the internet is going crazy with this end of days thing. With all talks of Project Bluebeam and the Antichrist, I urge everyone to be ready for anything and stay woke.
Hey, they are here. They are everywhere. How do you not understand? They give off a low vibrational frequency. Y'all falling right into their traps and snares. The best way to hide something is in plain sight so everyone can see. In plain sight. Guess where our children is going? Guess where they're going? They're going right here. And they're having a feast. They not missing for no reason. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? They are programming you to accept the things to come. It's called predictive programming. Let me show you what that means. Hey, this is deep, so listen up. Predictive programming is the practice of a government and other higher authorities that use feature films and books to increase public acceptance of planned future events. A popular conspiracy is the idea of using government predictive programming to manipulate citizens and enable them to predict what they want to do in the future. Y'all seeing this? Sometimes the intended purpose of predictive programming is not to plan for some major social change, such as an establishment of an totalitarian government, but to control the impact of a particular event. That's exactly what it is. Y'all better quit playing out here because this ain't no damn joke. Project Bluebeam is on the rise. I repeat, Project Bluebeam is on the rise. Guess what movie they about to drop? They about to put it right in your face and you about to accept it. Let me show you.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today.
let's. Today is.
What?
Today's. What is it?
You won't believe me if I told you.
The serpent people are in the Bible. The serpent people are in the Bible. Adam and Eve fell to the serpent in the garden. And we don't know what this means, but if you go to the Hindu, the Vedic mythologies from India, they speak about the Nagas. The Nagas are like this serpent race of people that lived on this earth before us. And it's like they're underground civilization dwellers. So in 1 Samuel, it calls out the Nakash Ammonite. Nakash Ammonite. And then there's a Nakash king. And Nakash, and Nakash means serpent in Hebrew. So this means that there's a serpent king over a serpent people. And we don't know this unless we're really digging into our Bibles. Serpent people.
Y'all believe this?
When the fallen angels or demons, whatever you want to call them, that was a time when they walked physically on the earth and they interacted with man. Because the scriptures say, worship us, make sacrifices to us, and we will do your bidding. So then I go outside the country because now I got to get more answers. I'm in Dubai. In the airport, they got a big sign, 50,000 Emirati fine, that's their currency, for using witchcraft or making sacrifices to progress or for monetary gain. If this is all make-believe, that means that parliament in Dubai called all of these meetings, passed legislation to pass bills to enforce a law for something that don't exist. It's no coincidence that all of these guys are allegedly gay. Their wife looks very manly.
Those creatures, or as they call them, entities, are really terrifying, but I don't think they are demons or something of some sort. Maybe the bee trying to confuse us to think the aliens are demons. I don't know. Tell us your thoughts down below.
The Book of Enoch tells us exactly what happened to the giant trees that were cut down. It mentions how the angels of God labored or cut down the trees in order to prevent the Nephilim giants from climbing up to survive the flood. We've been born with sight, but our eyes have become blind. They told you this is just pareidolia, that your mind is playing tricks on you. Well, your eyes have become traitors over time. So you do enough research and you come to realize that the majority of science is in fact pseudoscience to fit a narrative. We should know by now that many plateaus and mountains aren't rock formations, but the stumps of these giant trees that were cut down. And if you look closely at a lot of them, you'll see tree rings. Put the tree ring under a microscope and you will see geometric patterns of a hexagon. Take plant stems and you'll also see that each individual fiber is hexagonal in shape. This is what allows the trees to grow upwards into big beautiful trees that reach the sky. Now what's funny is scientists, or the dark Kabbalah priest, tell us that this was made from lava. Since when does lava or magma cool down and make geometric shapes? Let's take a look at Devil's Tower. Again, they tell us that this was formed by igneous lava. Here we see climbers on individual hexagonal towers. The stems of Devil's Tower bend into the base of the ground just like a tree. We see examples of these cut down trees all throughout the world, and Enoch says that there were 200 of them. Now there's always connections within the Bible that point to the book of Enoch so we can get more details. Just like in Genesis it tells us that there were giants in the earth in those days, there's other verses that tell us all about these trees. Daniel chapter 4 verse 10, pay attention. I saw a large tree in the middle of the earth. The tree grew very tall and strong, reaching high into the heavens for all the world to see. I saw a messenger, a holy one, coming down from heaven, and he shouted, "Cut down the tree and lop off its branches, but leave the stump and the roots in the ground, so that everyone may know that the Most High rules over the kingdoms of the world." So even the Bible tells us not only who cut these tree stumps down, but why they were left there, to show the power and destruction of God and his angels. Now mud fossils. Are these really petrified giants? Well, in Enoch 16:1 it says, "As to the death of the giants, wherever their spirits depart from their bodies, let their flesh, which is perishable, be without judgment." So judgment of the flesh is to rot and go away, to decompose. But without judgment is to not decompose. So we have to think about how could these giants be petrified?
Well, what plays a major role in petrification? Water. And what happened after the trees were cut down? The Great Flood. A legend across every culture in the world. There's a reason that Enoch, along with many other books, have been removed from the modern Bible. These books painted a far too accurate description of not only our realm and where we live, but the history behind it. You can keep believing that this is all just coincidence, keep believing that you're on a spinning water marble heading nowhere, and evolution is real, that you're a cosmic accident, or you can do a little bit of research, find the truth, and find out that there is a creator who made this amazing realm, and that you were created for a purpose.
All across the earth, we find structures that don't make sense. Doors 20 feet high, steps too tall for a human stride, stones weighing hundreds of tons, carved and moved with impossible precision. Historians say these were built by man. But what if the truth is much bigger? Ancient texts tell of a race of giants. And according to legend, they built the world that came before ours. Look at the architecture of the old world, the grand arches, the enormous windows, the doors built for something far taller than we are. It's as if we inherited a world made for giants, and we've been living in their ruins ever since. If this is true, it would mean history was rewritten.
For a long time, we have been told that mountains are just made of rock and soil created by nature over millions of years. But if you look closely at this specific mountain in Alaska called Mount Susitna, you can see the perfect shape of a woman's body lying down. And by the way, this isn't AI generated. Look it up yourself. Some believe these aren't just rocks, but ancient giants petrified by a massive disaster. But that's not all. The proof is in the Himalayan salt. While we're told it's from an old ocean, this theory suggests it's actually the dried blood of these titans. That deep pink color, it's the iron from their blood that crystallized into stone over thousands of years. While scientists say these shapes are just a trick of the eye called pareidolia, and that the salt is just mineral deposits, many people believe we are living on top of a world of giants.
The Smithsonian is responsible for hiding most of the discoveries of giant humans. They don't want people to know about these giants because it goes against the evolution theory. The skull used to be on display in Winnemucca, Nevada until a few years ago when they took it down. It's in the basement. You have to specially ask to see it. A giant human skull. Here's a normal human thumb bone. Underneath is a giant human thumb bone. We've got a replica of a thigh bone in our museum from a guy that would have been about 13 feet tall. These jaw bones are on display at a hotel in Turkey, 6.5 inches across the TMJs. Any one of you could put your head inside the jaw and bounce it around. Waukesha, Wisconsin found a human skull 3 times the size of ordinary humans, found in an Indian burial mound. This is a giant block of rock. Who on earth is moving these things? Consider that's a camel in front of it for scale. Who's cutting and moving these things? This is a 39-pound axe head. Swing a 10-pound sledge for a few minutes and see why I'm wondering who's swinging a 39-pound axe head.
Why is the Smithsonian so obsessed with buying up old farm plots in the Midwest?
Because they aren't buying the land, they're buying the silence. In the late 1800s, hundreds of local newspapers reported farmers digging up skeletons in mounds that were 16, 18, even 19 feet tall, and these are the golden ratios too.
And let me guess, the Smithsonian took them for study.
Every single time. Then those records just stop. If you look at the Great Serpent Mound or Cahokia, the engineering doesn't match the tools of the time. We're talking about massive earthworks aligned with lunar cycles. Look at the scale of the doorways and the weight of the stone.
So why hide the bones?
Because if you admit there was a superior race of humans before us, the entire evolutionary progress narrative collapses. It proves we're a downgraded version of something greater.
Oh, by the way, the Smithsonian is an extension of the Vatican, okay? Really? I'll tell you right now. And I'm not going to tell you how I know that or, believe me. Take it to the bank. Yes, keeping people stupid, we're easier to control if we're dumber and believe a lot of lies and everything,
I don't know how we would live with them giants if they existed today. We all have seen in movies how it ends up. Good thing they went extinct. If you are enjoying the video so far, smash that subscribe button to be updated and leave a like.
Okay, so do y'all remember how last year a bunch of scientists claimed that they discovered a whole continent underneath the East Antarctic ice sheet, quite literally 2 kilometers deep, over 34 million years old, the size of Maryland, about 12,000 square miles? It got me to thinking, right? While we're sitting here focused on the Vatican, the pyramids, we're focused on Area 51, we really should just be honing in on the ocean, because that is the biggest mystery. It keeps all of the secrets. Think about it like this. The Earth is over 70% water, 70% ocean, yet we have explored less than 20% collectively. How is that? And why is it that back in the day they were doing all these experiments, doing all this exploration into the water, and then all of a sudden they stopped and decided to say, oh, let's just look up. What did they find? The ocean is filled with so many underwater cave systems and tunnels. Mind you, a lot of people tend to think that the Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean, but that's what we've been able to measure. In fact, there are so many different life forms under there that are undocumented, and there have been explorers who have come out stating that they've touched rivers rivers that they can't go beneath, and people who have seen with their bare eyes unidentified creatures going into the ocean from the sky. So the ocean is an endless mystery. The ocean has also swallowed many an ancient city, and a lot of people tend to think about Atlantis, but did y'all know that there was Heracleon, which was an ancient city in Egypt that was swallowed up by the ocean over 1200 years ago? But till this day, there are statues, temples, and streets that are still perfectly preserved. And did y'all know that there are underwater forests? Like off the coast of Alabama, they discovered a 50,000-year-old cypress forest still intact on the seafloor. From an underwater Stonehenge, which is massive stone formations that they said was over 9,000 years old, found under Lake Michigan, to the 500 statues in Grenada, down to Lion City that was submerged in the 1950s, over to the purple orb that the NOAA still doesn't know exactly what it is. The ocean holds so many mysteries, and let's not get started on mermaids, sirens, Leviathan, pirate ships, all types of gold, the Titanic. When I tell you, the secrets are endless, and it just feels interesting that they will tell you the ocean is so massive, that's why we started looking into space, and then they tell you that space is pretty much infinite and we're just a tiny dot in an infinite solar system, right? So what do you guys think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Per usual, this is all alleged, can't confirm or deny any information, but if you like more interesting topics like this, grab your copy of 50 Forbidden Mysteries, link is in the bio. Feel free to join the private group chat. Like, follow, stay for some more tea.
I am begging you, stay with me for this video. It will be worth it. Do you know what this is? I'm about to show you pictures of what it looks like completely submerged underwater, but first off, let's talk about what it is. It's a man-made steel kraken that they sank into the water to serve as an artificial reef. Now, are you ready to see what this thing looks like submerged? Because I was not. I saw these photos last night at midnight and I almost started crying. What is this? Here's some scuba diver having fun in it. How could you go anywhere near that thing? Was the eyeball necessary? Here's the photo of it sinking down. These things look like pipes, and I have a huge phobia of pipes, but they're the tentacles and... like, yay, reef for fishies, nightmares for me. This is one of the more horrific things that I've ever shown on this account, ever. I need to know how we're feeling down in the comments. And if you also have submechanophobia, fear of crap like this, let me know so I feel less alone.
What the fuck is that? That monster looks insane.
This is not Kong.
Oh, that's not Kong? What is that? Is that?
And it's not Godzilla.
Godzilla. Yo!
This is something bigger.
What the fuck is that? What is that?
You opened
Wait.
the rift
I like this already.
to another world.
I am so hyped.
We made a mistake.
Yo! What a monster is that? This looks crazy! Yo! God! He's back!
So,
He is so back!
what's next? Consequences.
That monster looks insane! What? Yeah, I need this show right now, bro. We have my boy Kong. Kong is back in this show. We also got a small sneak peek of Godzilla. But they are teasing there is a bigger threat than these two. There is a brand new monster in this show that's a bigger threat than Godzilla and Kong. Wallahi, they are cooked. What is this, bro? He has two eyes in one eye. I don't even know what's happening here. What am I supposed to look at? Yo, Kong is throwing hands with someone right now. This might be the final fight with that monster, bro. What is this, bro? Look at that thing!
I pray to God this is not the case, but as it stands, this just might actually happen. So let's get one thing out of the way. Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 takes place before the events of 2019's King of the Monsters. What happens during this time? Godzilla fights Ghidorah in the water and an oxygen destroyer breaks them up, rendering Godzilla ineffective and Ghidorah unscathed by it. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, in Legacy of Monsters, there are these little cephalopods that follow that of Titan X, similar to it being its mother. These crustaceans look very oddly similar to that of a specific Toho Titan back in the day. The same thing that created that of Destroya. Now, very different in their own right, but you can kind of see somewhat of the similarities. And yes, I know what you all are thinking. I'm thinking the exact same thing too, and odds are, it might just happen. Titan X might be the sole reason why Destroya shows up in the Monsterverse, aside from the Oxygen Destroyer, obviously. And to give my 2 cents on this, honestly, I don't really mind that, to be fair. What I do mind, knowing how Space Godzilla is showing up in Supernova, is how quickly they're going to integrate this character into the Monsterverse. At least with this case, there's a viable explanation as to why Destroy is there. I can get behind that. Unlike Space Godzilla, where that shit's just being thrown in there and calling it a day. But if that does come to fruition, and this is how Destroy shows up, I don't want to see him in the very next movie after Supernova. That shit will destroy the Monsterverse indefinitely. Again, they're already saying to hell with it in Supernova. If the very next film they add Destroya, they're just wrapping it up. They're trying to speed run their way through it. And I will say that consistently until we get an actual viable explanation as to why Space Godzilla is showing up. Again, that's saying that Titan X is the reason Destroya shows up in the Monsterverse because of those little crustaceans. These things specifically, as we've seen before in the past in Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 Episode 1, have been in the real world, and they've been in this other dimension, and now they're back. Saying that all of them, once they go back to the dimension, are all going to be there, I doubt it. There's definitely going to be some that are scattered across the earth. So believe me when I tell you, I would not be surprised if one of those things became Destroya. But if that does happen, they better not make this fucker blue, or I might just lose my shit. Unless it absorbs the energy of that Oxygen Destroyer, turning it red, I better not see some shit like this, or I will lose my fucking mind.
I have not seen those movies, but I'm definitely looking forward to watch them considering their previous releases were just crazy. Shout out to them for their reviews, and if you have seen the movies, tell us in the comments below your thoughts.
The real villain of Spider-Man 2 isn't Doc Ock. It's actually a divided heart. Let me break it down. The opening monologue in the film says it all.
I made a choice once to live a life of responsibility. A life she can never be a part of.
Peter has already accepted the fact that he's Spider-Man, but he's still longing for a life with Mary Jane. That's a life that he can't have. James 1 verse 8, it says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So the moment that your heart is split between purpose and pleasure, that's when you've become unstable. That would be Peter.
Late, huh? I'm sorry, Mr. Aziz. There was a disturbance. Disturbance? Another disturbance? Oh, there's a disturbance with you.
See, being Spider-Man cost him his jobs.
You're fired. Go. Please, I need this job. You're fired.
Parker, hello, you're fired.
Why?
His education.
Your grades have been steadily declining. You're late for class. You always appear exhausted.
Time with his family.
He lives in another reality. Don't you, Pete?
Even his landlord is on his neck.
I promise as soon as I...
If promises were crackers, my daughter would be fat.
None of these people know he's Spider-Man. All they see is Peter. So, just like in real life, nobody sees the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the prayers, right? All they see is the one mistake you make, and then they build an identity around it.
Hi, Pete.
Even his so-called idol, Otto Octavius, knows the reputation that was built around him.
Parker, now I remember you. You're Connor's student. Tells me you're brilliant. He also tells me you're lazy.
See, this is how the world labels you when they can't see your calling. The turning point comes when he misses MJ's play after promising he would make it. He misses it because he's out saving lives as Spider-Man.
Go, Spidey, go!
And when he does show up, he sees her macking with somebody else.
Autograph, please, miss?
What are you doing here?
Now notice how instead of processing the pain, he goes straight into being Spider-Man. See, Spider-Man is that identity where Peter doesn't have to feel anything. He uses it as an escape from his real life. It's basically like a coping mechanism for him. But see, this is when he starts to realize he's losing his powers. His powers are failing him because he's out of alignment. Now, here comes Doc Ock, right? He's a scientist that's using an element called tritium to replicate the power of the sun.
Precious tritium is the fuel that makes this project go.
The symbolism here is crazy, right? Like tritium being the metal, right? And God is a triune God who created the sun, right? You don't need me to explain that. Like, you guys can see that, can't you?
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
But see, just like every single person who tries to replace God, it backfires. So now the same tentacles he created thinking that he can control them, they end up controlling him. Galatians 6 verse 7, it says, whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. Doc Ock tried to be God, and instead, he just became a slave.
Peter was right. I miscalculated. I couldn't have miscalculated.
So now Peter, he goes to try to fix his life as Peter, so he apologizes to MJ, but it flops.
I'm sorry, but there was a disturbance.
I don't know you.
His best friend Harry starts to turn on him.
Isn't that right? Huh? Isn't that right?
And then to top it all off, there's an announcement made that MJ is getting married.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you all to know that the beautiful Miss Mary Jane Watson has just agreed to marry me.
So now this causes him to go right back to his safe space as Spider-Man again. And he starts losing his powers again.
Oh no. No!
So now he thinks something's really wrong with him. So he goes to the doctor. And listen to what the doctor tells him.
Maybe you're not supposed to be Spider-Man climbing those walls. That's why you keep falling. You always have a choice, Peter.
See, by telling him he has a choice, right, that's opening the door for Peter to decide to walk away from his calling. Like, this is basically human philosophy. But see, Colossians 2 verse 8, it says, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. See, the world will always provide you a logical reason why you should walk away from what God called you to do. And Peter, he listens, and he throws away the suit. See, at first, everything improves.
Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling.
He has peace and he gets to enjoy his human life. But soon, he actually sees the consequences of his absence. More people are suffering and crime is rising. So basically, Peter does the only thing he knows he can do. Confess.
I'm responsible.
For what?
For what happened to Uncle Ben.
Now, even though his conscience is clear, he still doesn't have his powers back. He sees a burning building and decides to run in anyway.
Everybody in that building?
We think there's a kid stuck on the second floor. Hey, where you going?
He rescues one of the kids that was trapped, but he finds out that there was others that were stuck in there that didn't make it. See, Peter couldn't save them, but Spider-Man could have.
Some poor soul got trapped on the 4th floor. Never made it out.
Now, through a conversation with Aunt May, Peter finally realizes that even though being Spider-Man may cause harm to his personal life, it's actually a blessing to those around him.
Spider-Man did that for Henry, and he wonders where he's gone. He needs him.
Now notice that his powers return after a conversation with Mary Jane, and he confesses that he no longer loves her.
I thought I could be there for you, Mary Jane. But I can't. My mind was playing tricks too.
See, this is Peter finally choosing his calling over comfort, and that's why his powers return. And then we get to the famous train scene. So now, notice how when he stops the train, look at the pose that he's in. His arms are stretched out, body broken, right? Like, this is a visual representation of the cross. A savior suffering for his people. I mean, even look at how the people are carrying him. And then, in the final battle, just as Peter's trying to get Otto to reclaim power over the tentacles, listen to what he tells him.
Sometimes, to do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most.
Those words aren't just from Aunt May. They're from Jesus. If you look at Luke chapter 9, verse 24, it says, "For whosoever shall save their life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose their life for my sake shall save it."
Listen to me now.
Both Peter and Otto spent the whole movie chasing after their own life, right? Peter chasing after his human life, human relationships, human goals, right? Whereas Otto, he's doing the same thing with his chase for greatness, trying to build that machine and so on and so forth, right? They both end up losing their lives. But it isn't until they come to the realization that in order to save your life, you need to lose it. Peter sacrificing himself for the people on the train. That's when things come together. So now Otto, his sacrifice moment comes at the end when he destroys himself in order to destroy the very work that he was fighting to save. See, Peter had to choose between living a human life and being Spider-Man. We as believers, we often have to choose between living for the world or living for Christ. So now, if you ever feel like your life is falling apart whenever you decide to follow God, maybe it's because you're being asked if you're willing to choose your dream or your assignment. Follow God and Film for more.
Bro, Black Widow is gonna be Scream! We have the first trailer from Venom 4! Bro!
Creator.
What, bro? Nolan's Jax!
I forged the symbiote.
Yo, Scream!
Darkness to devour worlds.
Bro!
And then
oh,
my
shit.
children betrayed me.
Bro! Venom is back?
6 months since he's been gone. I keep waiting to hear his voice.
Oh, shit.
Did you miss us?
Whoa!
You are pathetic without us. But guess what? We are back.
Let's go! Bro, Black Widow!
Too long. You always were father.
Bro, Black Widow is gonna be Scream!
Also, his greatest fear. We are Scream. We chose to break free from the darkness.
Yo! Bro, John!
Most corruption runs through every symbiote.
Bro!
To kill a god, you need what
John Wick!
We are anti-venom.
John Wick is anti-venom!
His nightmare. Stand with us, or be consumed
Whoa!
with the rest.
Venom.
Bro!
The traitor.
Yo!
I will reclaim what is mine. Every symbiote in existence.
Fucking dragons and Venom!
To the darkness.
Bro, New York is cooked! They are fucking cooked!
To destroy.
Yo!
We chose to protect. He is coming for all of us.
Oh,
Every
shit!
symbiote.
Oh my god! Bro! We just got our first trailer for Venom 4, and this looks absolutely insane. The fact that Black Widow is going to be Scream, bro, John Wick as anti-Venom, all of them teaming up to take on Noel, bro, this is going to be the greatest MCU movie ever.
Venom really went wild on this new release, and I bet it's going to be a blockbuster. Can't wait to check it out after the release. Drop a like for us if you like this kind of content, and let's continue with the rest of the video.
I had to turn this movie off and collect my thoughts after this scene. When Evil Lurks is a dread-filled, brutal masterpiece directed by Demian Rugna, and if you know who that is, then you already know what you are in store for. This movie drops you right into the middle of this world where demon possession is kind of a pretty common thing. So they call the possessed the Rotten, and there's rules when dealing with the Rotten. First of all, you do not speak the demon's name. You cannot kill them using gunpowder or electricity. You also cannot harm the host or take their belongings. And last, do not let animals near them. Now, if any of these rules are broken, the Rotten will spread through the community like wildfire. So what makes this movie so effective are the demons, who are terrifying, by the way, but they barely have to do anything. Our main protagonist, Pedro, he breaks every rule you can think of, and he makes this shit spread like the plague. And it's not because he's dumb. He's not a dumb character at all. He's just impulsive, and he's trying to protect his family. But the kills in this movie, they are so fucking mean and unapologetic. Like, the things you see in here, it feels extremely cruel just watching it. It's gory, it's gruesome, the imagery is unforgettable. This movie just checks every box for me, and that's saying a lot because I fucking hate possession movies. But I cannot recommend When Evil Lurks enough, so if you've seen this movie, please drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And remember, brothers and sisters, have faith that in the Bible, every time they mention an angel, when an angel appears to we humans, we are afraid. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them on the right side of the altar of incense. And when Zacharias saw him, he was terrified and overcome with fear.
Midnight Mass is proof that Mike Flanagan is an absolute legend of modern horror. This isn't jump scare horror, it's slow and philosophical and absolutely devastating. The show centers around this small island community whose faith has been shaken after the arrival of this mysterious priest. He brings miracles, but also something much darker. It's a show about religion, but it's a show about addiction and death and what people believe when they're getting desperate. The dialogue is bold, the performances are unreal, and when the horror finally hits, it hurts. It's a thoughtful show, it's a terrifying show, and it's one that really lingers.
Rick! You're right about the demon, wrong about the host.
Fucking hell.
Get her out of here. Oh my God. Kevin. Come on, love. Come on. Visita quasumus domini. Habitationem. Istam et omnes.
You talk too much.
Tell me your name and I'll stop.
And why would I do that when there are far more enjoyable ways to make you stop?
His name is Agalaeus.
I'm flattered you remember me, Lord Morpheus, after all your time away.
Lord Morpheus?
He is. Though I confess I almost didn't recognize you without your helm. I wonder where your helm could be.
I presume it is in hell with the demon to whom it was traded.
Yes, but which demon? Give me the princess and I'll tell you.
Exi, ego, Agalaeus.
Wait! Fine. I'll tell you where your helm is. Just don't send me back.
Latitudes nemeki.
Constantine!
Innocentium, Agalaeus.
I command you!
Visita quasumus domini.
Dream of the Elders commands you!
Run along and fuck off back to hell.
And that's a wrap for today's journey into the strange and unsettling. Thank you for watching and stepping into the unknown with us. If these creepy mind-bending videos left you wanting more, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Got a favorite moment? Or maybe a clip you want to see in the next one? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and always be ready for the unexpected. We'll see you soon, right here at Chill Spot, where the weird and wonderful never stops.